Hey guys, just like here. Now, like I said, I'm going to keep on making Realdoll videos. It's okay. But if you didn't already know everything that you needed to know, you probably will now. Well, and of course, some of you are probably going to be clicking on this video for site recommendations. I know. But first off, I want to say that I was actually wrong about the Racyme sites that I talked about recently in one of my videos. They actually didn't have contact information. It was just at the bottom of the page at the front side, actually. So, like I said, we're all wrong about something sometimes, but otherwise, I'm pretty much correct about what I stated otherwise. So the rest of what I said was correct, just that one little detail that that place didn't have any contact information. I would otherwise recommend other sites over that site, just so you know. But anyway, moving on. So this site in particular, I was reading, basically said this in a way that I probably couldn't say any better myself. With, it says, okay, so where do I buy a sex doll? And it says, with the rise in sex doll popularity, lots of new Chinese factories and stores have opened up recently selling imitation or counterfeit dolls. It's harder to find a legit sex doll store than ever before. Counterfeiters will take photos from top brands such as WM Doll and use it as their own, especially WM Doll. I think that's where they do it the most, actually. Cheap imitation dolls won't look the same as the photo. That's when you actually get the doll, they won't look very much the same. They will also be inferior in quality. I don't recommend cheaping out when it comes to a sex doll. Sex dolls are not just for sex, but also for love, companionship, cuddling, photography, and so much more. You want something that looks good, feels good, and lasts for years. That's why it's important to buy an authentic doll from the original manufacturers and designers. And now, of course, actually, several occasions have stated that many, many times. I recently have been seeing way too many people that are going towards these cheaper love doll sites. And don't get me wrong, the prices are attractive. But let me tell you something, man. The dolls themselves are just not good quality. They aren't going to last you. They are going to fall apart. I mean, yeah, there's maybe some knockoff like versions of dolls that I sometimes have seen are decent quality, you know. And if you get a knockoff doll that's of decent quality, well, good for you. But try to kind of stay in that standard range of pay. Now, some people have also lately been talking about, well, these love dolls that are knockoff, but are sold at regular prices. Well, that tends to not really be the case usually. Lots of times when you go to a scam site, they will have a picture of a love doll, let's say a WM doll, I guess I'll say. So let's say this doll you're looking at looks like, they took a picture of a WM doll and it cost like, let's say, $150. So you're like, hey, cool, that's a really cheap price, right? So you get this doll, right? And then a month later to 2 weeks later, it comes in the mail. And then you get a blow up doll. Now that is what a scam site is. In fact, that actually happened to me once, like almost a decade ago, when I first started looking into love dolls and getting them. So just keep that in mind that that's what a scam site is. Do not try, again, like I said in my recent video, do not try to judge a scam site by its prices. Although if it is, like I said, a little bit low, like $300 or less, you might want to be a bit suspicious. of that price tag. Because the lowest I've ever seen, even for a knockoff TPE doll, is about $400. And they shouldn't be over, I would say, three to 4,000. 4,000 definitely tops. Probably not even that. Anyway. So here are some recommended sites. Or I'll show you the scam sites first. So there is Dolluza, Shapuza, Alibaba, AliExpress, Amazon, and eBay. Now, of course, Amazon and eBay aren't necessarily scam sites. I mean, they do generally give you what you want. Now, love dolls on Amazon, that's the one thing that I would never, ever. There's a list there. That's the one of the few things that I would never buy on Amazon, is because, you know, on Amazon, these high-end love doll sites, they never work with these sites that I have just noted, like AliExpress, Alibaba, and eBay. These high-end love doll sites do not work with these sites. So if you think that you're getting a WM doll off of Amazon, well, think again. It's probably just a knockoff. None of these high-end love doll sites work with these sites. So when it comes to love dolls, just stick to the sites themselves. And here's some recommended sites here. I'll just give you a quick look. Now, you will also see these in the description. I'm just giving you guys a good look. You can pause it if you want. So, out of all of the sites that I have on my list, these are basically the sites that I would recommend the most, are the ones I just showed you. Now, there is more love doll sites I have recommended in the description as well. So after you're done watching this video, or if this is the only reason why you're watching this video in the first place, is just the recommendation sites, they're in the description below. Now, there's some other things that you might want to look at when it comes to doll care items. Now, that's another thing that you are going to have to think about when it comes to getting a love doll. And yes, you do have to care for these things. I mean, you basically have to spoil these things, especially if it's a TPE doll. You have to spoil the fucking thing. It's like a TPE doll sometimes almost feels like it's almost as needy as a real woman. Well, maybe not that needy, but I think you get the point. But here's some items that you're more likely going to need just in general, especially for TPE dolls. And oh yeah, and this, if it's your first time getting a love doll, by the way, I wouldn't go too expensive when getting a love doll. If it's your first time getting a love doll, I would either get one, a fabric love doll, which is fairly cheap and they're very easy to maintain, or two, maybe get a TPE doll. If you can maybe find and there are cases of this, if you can get a silicone doll, which is about, I would say at least $2,300, if you get a cheaper version of a silicone doll like that, I would go for that. Don't go real high end the first time you're looking for a love doll, because you might make the mistake of getting this doll and then 3 months later you just get bored of it and you just, let's say you got a doll from Realdoll and you got tired of that doll after 3 months. Well, you just spent like $5,000 to $6,000 on a love doll that you just barely even used. Now you're bored of it. Now it's just sitting there collecting dust, and it's basically just $5,000 down the drain, basically. So if you're looking for a love doll in your first time, especially, just don't go real expensive the first time. But here's some items that you're going to need. Now, if it's also your first time, get the deluxe care kits with the love doll that you're purchasing. Always get the care kit if it's your first time buying from them on the sites. Always get the deluxe care kit. But if for any reason you've already gotten the deluxe care kit with the type of doll or site that you've gone from before, here's some other things that you might need. Cleaning irrigator, dry stick, lash and nail glue, renewal powder, TPE repair solvents, TPE skin test piece, TPE stain remover, safe makeup remover that works with the material, and warming wand. So there is that. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is basically how you look for love dolls over the internet. Now, of course, if you guys have any more questions about that or just love dolls in general, just leave in the comments below. And yes, I have actually looked into I have looked into every one of these sites. I have finally been able to make some time to start looking into these love doll sites again. Just like I didn't really have the time to really take a look at that Racyme site a week ago. But, shit happens. I have the time now, thankfully. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.